All right, welcome back to another masterclass with 7 Ways to Wealth. Tonight, we have an amazing guest speaker. Her name is Jac. She goes by Jac the God, Jac the Creator. She is actually a professional creative director. So she's known for branding and web design expertise. She's been working with big brands, you guys, big brands, 6-figure, 7-figure, multi-million-dollar brand. So she knows exactly what she's doing. And right now she owns her own agency. It's a creative agency, and she is helping people expand their small business and look corporate, right? That's what we all want to do. We want to look corporate out here. We want to look larger than life. We want to look like the Fortune 500 company. So that's exactly what Jac is going to teach us today. I'm super excited. A good friend of mine's. Hey, Jac, you have the floor. Thank you so much for joining us.
For sure, for sure. And thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here. So, like she said, my name is Jac. I go by Jac the God. And I own a design agency right now. I also own a clothing brand called My Hustle Has Purpose, and I like to inspire people to believe in their hustle. And that's just something that I do on the side, right? But I'm known for branding. I'm known for web development. I've been doing this for years now. I've worked with many companies. I've worked with Marriott. I've worked with aviation companies. You might not be familiar, but if you're in the space, Wencor, Tsunami Solutions, these are my clients as an independent contractor, which is a major thing when you're talking about that kind of industry. Like this is not a joke when it comes to that industry. And I've done all that by branding, by relations, by networking, and by putting myself out there. And so today I'm going to kind of show you guys the importance of branding and how you can do the same for you. As I see a lot of you guys are starting your own podcast, you have businesses, whether it's in real estate or anything, you can still benefit from these techniques because whatever you're doing, you are a brand, your business is a brand. And so you want that to show across all boards. So I have a quick presentation for you that I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So just give me 1 second. And if you have any questions, I'll get to that as well. So this is my quick little presentation. And I call this Profit Without Burnout because honestly, we're entrepreneurs. I'm really busy. I'm a busy person. Right now, actually, I'm contracted under another company. So I'm not, you won't see my specific agency in here because I'm doing work through them. But the thing is, we don't want to burn out. We don't want to get tired. A lot of you will have your own 9 to 5s. You'll be working day jobs. At the same time, you're also doing your side hustles. You're doing other things to go ahead and grow that equity and grow your businesses. And so you don't want to tire out. So I like to do things, I work hard. I believe in hard work. And I know that it's not going to be easy to get there. But at the same time, we do want to break the noise and we do want to cut it out. So a lot of people will say they don't like using social media. Now, you'll understand why I'm bringing up social media because social media is very, very important. And I don't want anybody to undermine it. While networking is important, social media is just as important. We network, we meet people in person. And then and nowadays, especially in our generations, if we're in the younger generations, we're saying, hey, do you have an Instagram? Do you have a TikTok? Some people will say, do you have a LinkedIn, depending on what industry you're in, right? And the thing is, a lot of us like to make excuses. I don't have enough time to show up myself on social media, things of that nature. But the thing is, you're going to meet somebody in person, but if you're not following up on this social media platform and they're not continuing to see you, then they're going to forget about you. And who they're going to remember is the person that they see all the time. So a lot of the negatives that I get from people are I don't have time. I know what I'm doing, but I'm just not doing it. I don't have a large following. I'm not consistent, etc. Listen, you don't need a large following. I don't have a large following on social media. It's not important at all. I still work with these crazy brands. I'm mind blowing, honestly, all the time to this day. When I get calls, when I get emails by some of the people that I work with, some of them don't follow me because they see my content, but they don't necessarily need to be a follower of me to work with me and to trust in me. So just know that because they see me now, they see that I'm consistent. I know what I'm talking about. I'm able to go ahead and share my expertise. Especially if you are, part of the Black and brown community, let's be real. A lot of times they're going to undermine our intelligence. So until they can actually hear us speak, hear us talk, and hear us actually use the words that they want to hear in these industries, they're not going to trust you. I'm telling you this, until I speak, a lot of people undermine me, and then I start using the words that they want to hear, and then it's like, oh, okay, she knows what she's talking about, right? So, using video, showing up, it's very, very, very important. My favorite thing to say is like, did you post today? If you didn't post today, you're closed. You're saying you don't want no clients. And I do this honestly. If you don't see me posting, if I'm quiet, it's because I am busy, and I honestly like don't need too much people coming in my inbox, because that's going to get crazy. So I won't post for a while. I'll get quiet. I'll get slow on my social media because I'm busy on the outside. If I'm posting, it's because I'm ready to bring in more people. Maybe I have my team members are ready to work and all that thing. So if you're needing the extra dollars and you're not posting, there's a problem. You need to be posting daily. And I always say this. So do you know who posts these? Most of you probably will know exactly where these come from. And that's because do you have a social media footprint? And so these posts are from the Shade Room and Baller Alert. So I know so many people who you see these posts, you already know that Shade Room. Oh, look what Shade Room posts. Oh, look what Baller Alert posts. I don't follow either of these pages, but I still know who they are. And as soon as I see somebody repost them, because their branding, their social media footprint is so relevant, and it's just so like prime. They're consistent with what they're doing. So I'm going to talk to you about brand identity, and I want you guys to pay attention to this, because whether you use it today or you go back to it in the future, it's going to be very important. You're going to remember it at some point. Brand identity helps build trust, differentiates you from your competition, shares your mission, all these things. It's very, 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 very important, because ultimately it creates an experience. And I'm going to talk to you guys about my favorite person in the world when it comes to branding, just to help tie everything together about how important branding is, right? When we're talking about creating an experience. So it's more than just saying, I have a company, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm going to be transparent. So when I first started my design agency, I called it Hustle Design Agency. And I actually am in the middle of a rebrand right now, because that brand is not working for my target audience. I work with 7-figure brands now, multi-million-dollar brands now. They don't want to go to a company that's hustle design agency. These are things that we have to think of. While it might sound cool, or certain things might sound good in the beginning, you really have to pay attention to who your avatar is, who your target audience is. How are they going to feel? So it's not just about what it looks like or what it sounds like, especially to yourself, but how are they going to feel anytime they come across your brand, because you want them to trust in you and your brand. It's very, very important. And you want to create an experience. So an experience is how you feel. How you feel anytime you see a brand, how you feel anytime you come across it, anytime you touch it, anytime you see the colors. These things are all relevant and important. So again, creating an experience. Anytime I see Shade Room posts, I automatically think it's negative. Goes back to that experience that you're creating for your audience. So you want to build a brand culture, just like Walt Disney. So Walt Disney is one of the best brand strategists to ever do this in the world. Honestly, you look at this and you already know what it is. Nobody has to tell you. Everybody knows what a Mickey ears are. And if you've been to Disney World, you already know you're going to see Mickey ears everywhere, from people wearing it to the hidden Mickey ears to waffles. The waffles are going to be shaped as Mickey Mouse. Like, it's crazy. Everything is literally Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse. He's not going to let you forget it. You know exactly where you are when you enter that building. And that's important, because if you don't have brand identity, people are not going to remember you. They're not going to remember who they came in contact with. They're not going to remember who was in front of them. So if you've been to a carnival before, I guarantee you, because I've showed this presentation in front of hundreds of people already, and not one person has told me they've known the name of the carnival that they actually went to. I've been to multiple carnivals. I don't know who owns any of them. I'm sure neither do you. But when you go to Disney World, when you go to something like Universal or Six Flags, you know exactly who owns that. You know where you are, and you know what you're going to do. When you go to a carnival, you don't know who owns it. You don't know what rides are there. You don't know anything about the experience you're about to get. And so you have to think about that when it comes to your branding. Do you want to be looked at like a carnival where people are like, I don't know what I'm going to get, but at least it's a carnival? Or do you want to be like, oh, I'm going to Disney World and I know exactly what I'm going to get, exactly what I'm going to experience, and exactly how I'm going to feel? That gives that extra layer of trust. So while you can still have a decent company, you don't, weighing the two out, what's going to make you more successful? I want to be like Walt Disney. And so there's three important things to start your branding. You need to have a logo. You need to have a font that goes well with your logo. So these fonts should be researched. You don't just slap something on there. Like, you really have to pay attention to why am I creating this font a specific way. And colors, so colors mean something. You want to look up the psychology of the colors, and the colors that you choose. If you choose a specific blue, every time you use blue, you need to use that hex color. So that's like this right here, or Pantone color, RGB. You need to use that same blue every time, so people go ahead and start recognizing every time they see a blue post, that specific blue, they're going to go ahead and recognize you. They're going to think about you. They're going to think about your brand. If you're familiar with the company BurgerFi, they've actually trademarked their green. So when I see a billboard, sometimes I see their billboards, it's green and black. I know it's them, and oftentimes they won't have their logo on it, but you know it's them because of how well that their branding is. And that's how you want to look. You want people to see not just you, not just your logo, but you want them to be able to see your colors and be like, oh, I know that's them. When people see, that what is it, gold and red, you think of McDonald's oftentimes and things of that nature. So you really have to pay attention to those things. So you start off with a logo, you go into a font, you go into colors. There's psychology behind all of these. So make sure when you're selecting these things, when you have these things, they're for a reason, not just because it's your favorite color. And then going back to the social media aspect of it, it really is easy when you know what you're doing. So there's a couple of tips for this, and my favorite cheat is answer the public. So you might have heard this here before, and I'm gonna remind you because I heard it a couple of times before I even started using it, and some of you may not have even used it yet. And so answer the public is the best cheat, because if you're not posting because you just don't know what to post, you literally go to answerthepublic.com, you type it in right here, you search for your niche. So for me, I might type in web design. And then in this right hand side, there's going to be a spider web that shoots out, and it's going to be like what, where, when, why. It's active people searching for on that specific topic. So the cool thing is you can click it and it's going to take you to a Google search and it's going to answer the question. Now you can go to, you can turn on your camera and you can say, hey, the top 5 things that you need to know about web design is you need to have an SSL certification. You need to have a home, about, contact, and, and you just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now you made a video in 2 seconds, rather than sitting there doing all this time thinking about what you're going to post and not posting because you allegedly don't know what to post. You literally can knock out your, content calendar within an hour just by using answerthepublic.com. Like, this is such a great tool to use. If you're not posting every day, honestly, get on it. Use this. It's very, very helpful. And I need you to understand that there is a strategy for everything. So you can't just be posting a post. So posting a post is actually called random acts of marketing. Random acts of marketing mean that, again, you're posting just because you feel like everybody says I need to post, so I'm going to go ahead and post. Well, I'm going to tell you something. If you go viral right now and you don't know what you're going to do after you're going to go viral, it's not going to get you anywhere, and you're probably not going to make any money. In the industry I'm working with currently, I come across many influencers. I'm talking about 50,000 plus, 200,000 followers, crazy influencers. People know who they are. Oh my gosh, people are starstruck when they're coming in. They are broke. Why? Because they're just going viral. They have all these followers, have no strategy, don't even know why they're posting what they're posting. And it's honestly just a joke. They're doing random acts of marketing. When you're posting, there needs to be a reason. Well, I'm posting this because I want to get a sale on this. I'm posting this because I want people to go back to my website. I'm posting this because I want a DM. Like, you have to have a reason. And so you need to start with a reason, and then you can go ahead and map your way out from there. So when you do that, then you have to think about, okay, well, where am I going to post and how am I going to post? All of these things on social media, there's a specific way you need to use them. And that's what this page is about. So when you're talking about reels, lives, and stories, it's not just posting a reel because everybody's saying to post a reel right now. Posting a reel, you might get viral, but if you're talking to followers who don't even know you, you're talking to a cold audience. So if you're posting a sale on a reel to a cold audience, it's basically like cold calling. You're not going to get that many sales right there, right? So you really have to think about these things when going into it. You're getting in front of a new audience. You want to gain their attention. You might want to teach them something. You want them to follow you, you want them to go back to your page, you want them to learn more about you. Reels typically are a cold audience. Occasionally you'll get some of your existing audience, but oftentimes what it's going to do is it's going to push you out to an audience. It's going to push you out to your followers followers. So if you're following person A, then it's the person A's followers that they're going to push you out to. So that's kind of what you're looking at. So again, who you follow, the people who follow you, all those things matter right now because that's where reels are getting pushed out to. So also, if you're following irrelevant people, you might need to do a cleaning spree because now you're getting pushed out to people who are irrelevant and not going to actually utilize your content or buy any of the stuff that you're selling. When you go live, you're usually talking to a warm audience unless you're getting on something like a joint live where now you're, going ahead and trying to impress the other person's followers as well. Again, that's going to be a cold audience, but if you're just talking to your own followers, then it's a warm audience. Right there, you might want to talk a little bit more about your sales. You want to talk a little bit more about your offers. You want to lead them somewhere, whether that is to a follow if it's for followers that aren't following you, or whether that's to your link in your bio. And you have to tell people what to do every time because people are dumb. They don't know what you're thinking. They don't know what you want them to do. They're just scroll. They're literally just scrolling. So say, say a link in go to my bio right now. You have to say it sometimes. They're not going to do it. And then stories, honestly, is probably the best place to sell. You're going to get the most people looking at your stories. It's warm because except for those random bots, everybody is your follower. They have already seen your page. They haven't muted you if they're still looking at your story. So they're somewhat interested, right? So that's where you're going to put in the links. You're going to put in the link to your bio. You're going to put in the link to the sale. You're going to promote something. You're going to remind them of something, whether it's a class, you have a property up for sale, whatever the case, that's your warm audience. That's where you kind of also want to tell people more about yourself because at the end of the day, people do business with people. So, just remember, it's not just social media. There's a reason behind every piece of social media right now, and you have to utilize it the right way. Otherwise, you're missing the whole point. And, right now we have notes. So even notes. Now, yeah, it might be a little annoying, but at the same time, there's not that many people using it. So if you know that if you write a note right now and you have a sale going on, you're going to be in everybody's DM, whether they pay attention, whether they're commenting at it or not, they saw you. So just remember that, like, who cares if you're actually, getting the actual comment back? People see you, and that's what's important. I don't have it in this presentation. I'm not really sure why, but there's a rule of 7. So people need to interact with you 7 times before they actually go ahead and buy something or follow you or do anything with you. So they need to come across your content at least 7 times. So something like now you posted a reel, you went live, you posted in your stories, and now you're in your notes. That's already 4 times you touched somebody in one day. By day 2, you've already touched them 7 times. Now they're more likely to engage with you more. So things like that are really, really, really important to pay attention to. Another one of my favorite things to say is, imagine if you started a YouTube channel in 2008 or freaking 2012. Like, if you would have started a YouTube channel right there, we'd all be millionaires right now. We wouldn't be on this live. We probably wouldn't be on the Zoom. We'd be out living our best lives, right? We'd be multi-millionaires. Like, this is real. You want to stay on top of the trends. That's why I say that, because you don't want to wait anymore. The longer you wait, the longer it's going to take for you to get to that next level. So a lot of times we'll say, well, I'm going to start that in the new year, or I'm going to start that tomorrow. I'm going to start that next week. But every time we say I'm going to start that tomorrow, it's going to take another day added on to your timeline. So, stop extending that timeline. You don't have to wait for the new year. You can start tomorrow. You can start right when we get off of this class tonight. You can go ahead and do the work. So that way you're cutting off the time to actually get to where you want to get to. Because the reality is, once you start, you've only just started. There's actually work that has to go into it before you start accumulating that success. So let's stay on top of the trends and just, commit to what we're doing and doing it today and not waiting for tomorrow. So, keeping up with the trends right now. Our trends on social media are TikTok, they are Reels, and they are YouTube Shorts. This is important to note because if you're starting a podcast, right now, you don't necessarily have to have a long podcast. Right now, people can't consume that much. Their attention spans are crazy right now. People want a lot of short form content. You might be able to do a 15-minute podcast if you just don't have the time, or you don't know how to talk a lot. You might not want to do an hour podcast, and that's fine. Do what works best for you, but also utilize the trends. That way you can go ahead and expand your audience. We all have to do this for a reason, and we're not just doing things to do things. At the end of the day, we all want to make money off of it. So, let's use the tools that we have in front of us. And while this is very important, TikTok beat out Google for the most popular domain in 2021. I'm sure that is the same for this year. I will get the statistic for the 2022 statistic when it's up to date. That's really, really important to pay attention to, because like Google is where everybody goes to type in their questions from everything I've known growing up on the internet. But people aren't going to Google anymore. They're going to TikTok. People are literally going to social media and saying, what is this? How can I do this? Like, this is mind blowing and crazy when you think about it. That tells you how important and how relevant social media is right now. That TikTok beat out our search engine. Like, we literally look up maps for this. This is crazy when you really like put it into the entire perspective. So you want to make sure you're utilizing these things, because people have questions. They have so many questions, but that where are they getting their answers from? So instead of forcing people to hear your answer, people are going to start looking for the answer. They're looking for you. People are looking for the knowledge that you have. But if you're not showing up, if you're not posting, then they're going to go find somebody else who is posting, who is showing up, somebody else that they are going to get to know. I will say though, we do have to pay attention to this with the whole right now TikTok is a little controversy and it might get banned. If it does get banned,
Listening to this comes on, I can't miss it.
If it does happen to get banned, I would say, right now is not the time to take off the pressure on your Instagram, because if TikTok gets banned, everybody's going to go running back to Instagram. So this is not the time to stop Instagram and go all in on TikTok either. Right now, I would utilize both. I would see what TikTok looks like in the next couple of months. Do they ban it? Do they not ban it? And, go from there. I know a lot of you guys are into like investment and whatnot as well. So it's like all of these things, you need to stay up on news, you need to stay up on media, no matter what industry you're in, because little things like this can really change the trajectory of your business and what you're doing to go ahead and actually monetize. So if you're not paying attention to these statistics, I know a lot of creators who stop using Instagram completely. If TikTok gets banned, now they're going back to square one. So, keep utilizing everything, but pay attention to the news. And then repurposing your content correctly. So this is great because you can use your Instagram reels and your TikTok reels appropriately. So I think I'm missing, I don't know what happened. I think I'm missing a slide, but that's fine because I can still explain it. So you can repurpose your content, right? So you have to use it the right way. We don't want to see
an reels, and this girl is teaching you for free.
And we don't want to use our Instagram logo on TikTok, and we don't want to use our TikTok logos on Instagram. What happens is the platform is going to shadow ban that content. You're not going to get that much exposure. These platforms have very, very high technology right now. Artificial intelligence is crazy. You saw in the last 2 or 3 weeks, everybody's going crazy with these AI photos, right? It's deeper than that. These social media platforms have AI. So AI can recognize when you have a TikTok logo on Instagram and they don't want to see another platform. It's like walking into McDonald's with a Burger King bag. It's disrespectful to them. You don't want to do that. So, if you need to take a picture of it, do that. These websites right here, you can actually go to them. And if you post a reel, you can go to Snap Insta, and what will happen is it's actually going to remove the watermark. So now you can go ahead and repurpose it on TikTok appropriately. My favorite thing to do is to take my long form content and repurpose it on every platform. So like I was saying, right now is not the time to brush off of Instagram and just go on TikTok. No, utilize them all. You only have to make the video once. So what I'll do is something like this. I'll do a masterclass, or I'll jump on a live, or I'll just put my video up and I'll record a whatever I want to record, and it'll be a longer form content. So long form is typically like 15, 30 minutes, an hour of me talking about the topic I want to talk about. And then I will cut that up into segments and make them reels. And that same segment that I made, I'll make it into a reel, a TikTok, a YouTube short. You can post it on LinkedIn. You can post it on Facebook Reels. It's one video. So if you have 1 hour out of your week, you can post, 1 hour out of your week, you can go ahead and now get on video for 1 hour. Like right now I'm on video for 1 hour. I can go ahead and take this video, cut it up into multiple clips, because right now I'm on slide 20. I can cut it up into at least 20 clips, right? And I can use those 20 clips and go ahead and expand them on all platforms. So it's not much work to do from there. From there, it's just cutting up the clips. So now you might have 2 hours out of your day where you're actually creating content for your week. Like, that's crazy. And honestly, 20 clips is good. That can actually push me through the month if you really need to. And that's just one day. So now you're talking about, imagine 2 hours out of the month, you have content for your whole month with just 2 hours out of your month. So, it's just really utilizing the time that you have, using these things that we have, like repurposing your content the right way, and then getting your time back, but also monetizing off of it. So again, I'm just going to do a quick recap. Posting every day, yes, it's important. If you need that extra income, yes, it's important. You need to be posting every day. We want to have a social media footprint. You want to be branding. You want to create an experience for everyone. Anytime they come across your brand, you want them to know you. Even you see right now I have this blonde hair going on, but for a while when I had quit my job and I went into my agency, I had blue hair. That was for a reason. It was so when people saw me, they would remember me, they would recognize me because I had blue hair. I branded everything about me. So again, you want to create an experience. Branding is important. You want to utilize these social media platforms appropriately. You want to go ahead and start, you want to commit all the way, and you want to utilize the trends, right? And then of course, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our long form content, we're going to break it up into multiple content, and now we have our content for the month. So there's no excuses. And guess what? People are going to come to you. They're going to be in your DMs. They're going to say, hey, I want what you have to offer. And that's how you're going to go ahead and get business from there. So that really is the end of my presentation. Right now, here is my contact information. Again, like I said, I am doing a rebrand. So I don't have my current website up there. I do have a portfolio if anybody would want to see it, and things of that nature. But honestly, right now, I'm open for any questions that you might have that I can go ahead and offer you.
Hey, Jack, I have a question.
Yeah.
Hey, so you were talking about earlier about how the watermark and such. Is there like a website that we can post one thing, one comment, one photo, one caption that can go on all other social media platforms without like tagging it with the watermark? I mean, I read somewhere if you was to post or share from Facebook to Instagram or wherever, that the other social media platforms don't like that. Do you have a some type of remedy for that?
So yeah, that is true. And there are other platforms that you can shoot, one piece of content to multiple. As far as Facebook and Instagram, you can use Facebook Business Manager. That will work without hurting you, since Facebook does own both. But when it comes to other platforms, you still may get docked. So even when you're seeing, bigger brands doing it, because their exposure and their reach is just so large, they're still able to gain some type of, reach without being hurt as much as somebody who doesn't have as many followers. I wouldn't recommend it at this point. So just, getting the raw content, clip up the raw content first if you can, and then uploading them. As far, like I said, go to Business Manager, at least so you can cut the space there, and then you might want to go to another social media planner. There's things like I want to say Buzzsprout, and there's like many other companies that do it.
I have another question too.
Yeah.
What's the quickest way to get our followers up, like on Instagram? I mean, I'm really not trying to spend the money.
How many? No problem. How many times do you post a day?
I post like twice.
What kind of content are you posting? I can pull up your, if you don't mind, I can pull up your social media real quick.
It's key underscore. I'll put it in the chat. It's like really
Okay,
long.
yeah. Put it,
It's like
go
key
ahead.
underscore got underscore the underscore keys. I know it's long, right?
Oh, I found you. Key Andry or Ardry, Key Ardry.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah, it's
Probably
buffering
not.
right now.
Okay, maybe because I'm on another page. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna do a quick. No, man, you're not post. Honestly, you got to post every day. And I'm going through this real quick. It looks like you're going live, which is great. You want to break up those lives and turn them into reels. That's how you're gonna get. If you want to get more followers, you want to do reels. You want to do TikTok. Your live, like I was saying, like utilizing the platforms appropriately. Your lives and your posts, those are gonna be for your warm audience. To get new followers, you're gonna want to post TikToks and reels, and those just have to be like super engaging. You want to edit it so you're already talking. As soon as the video starts, you want to be talking, and just bringing up your points that you're going to talk about, and try to make it as quick and as engaging as possible. Put a song in the background. You can minimize the song so you don't really hear it. Things like that are going to put you on certain algorithms, and that's going to help you really get your followers up. I've gotten I've gotten followers off of like 100 followers off of one reel. So it's really just putting in the work with reels and TikToks.
Is there any platform that you prefer we like utilize to edit those videos?
I
And
honestly,
I apologize for dominating this conversation. You guys tap in if you want to ask questions.
You're good. I mean, I have time. Honestly, I actually recently, for videos in particular, I use Canva.
Yep.
It is the easiest way. You don't have to use any of these crazy video editors. I get on Canva, and I'll cut them up on Canva, and then I use CapCut, and I'll upload it into CapCut to add captions on it. Now that's an extra step. I'm not saying to go all that way first. First, just get consistent with the cutting up content and posting them. And then once you go from there, you might want to start adding on captions and things of that nature. But yeah, I use Canva to cut up all of my videos. And Canva is free, so.
Jack, I appreciate you. I'm gonna follow you right now.
Yeah, of course. And I'll follow back for sure. And if you ever have any questions, like feel free to shoot a DM, and I'm honestly always happy to help.
I have a question. It's about Answer the Public, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people talk about it. I haven't used it as of yet. I went on there and I did some like window shopping or whatever to see what would come up. But I wanted to know, like, do you notice a difference between the content that you create based off of your search results, you know the word, from Answer the Public, or from content that you just, create on your own?
So, I mean, honestly, I don't use this too much because I just like to talk about what I know the most, just because it comes off natural. So what I've noticed is what I talk about more, because it comes off more natural and I'm not having to practice it as much. People really, really like that. And but honestly, it's really so good. So okay, you saw how I typed in brand development right there. So the couple of times that I have used it, what I'll do is I'll go there, I'll type in the topic, I'll just select one, and then it'll say like brand development is a strategic process. And honestly, what I do is I kind of skim through here and I give my version of it. I don't necessarily take any of this content, like obviously verbatim or anything. That way it's just in my words and it's super, what I say. So it's a process of maintaining quality, distinctive marketing assets, and the customer's trusting brand. So I might say something like this. Hey guys, I want to give you 4 steps that you need to know about your brand development. So just so you know, this really helps your customer trust you. It's very important that they trust you. It shows that you have a clear and consistent look. It's going to give you marketing assets that now people are actually going to relay back to you. So anytime they see your colors, they're going to go ahead and see you. And I just start talking like that. So I'll go to the Google search. I'll kind of see what they're talking about and I'll put it into my own words and just talk like I'm having a conversation. But I don't really necessarily see a difference in like the post. The only time I see a difference is in my tone of voice. So what I've noticed is when I go back to my analytics for my Instagram, I started to pay attention to my tone of voice in different videos. And when I talk like this, people like it. When I talk a little bit louder, it gets less views. And that's just because it's me. So you have to see how people are attracted to you, and what works for you, because people are going to be attracted to you differently than they are to me.
Wow, that's so good. Thank you, Jack. Do you know, I don't really know how to read my analytics. Do you have any advice for that? Because I see it and it's like, it looks like Mandarin to me, honestly. If I really was able to like comprehend my analytics, then obviously I would be able to like, I guess, 10x my results, right? But
Yeah, for sure. What's your Instagram? It's not
I
7
am,
ways to what?
yeah, I am Christina Yvette.
I am Chris. Yeah. I'm like, there you are. I was about to go to 7 ways of what 7 ways to well. So what I would do is I typically go down the page and I look for what has the higher reach as far as like reels and stuff. And you can do the same thing with posts. Reels is just typically the easiest to do because you're obviously going to get more reach as far as they're pushing it out to more people, where posts are going to your followers. What I've noticed with posts right now is you shouldn't post a single post. You should post a carousel. It doesn't necessarily have to be a carousel with information. It can be a picture, a meme, I know like song lyrics work, just multiple photos. Just don't post a single one. And then as far as like looking at your analytics, I'll look at a couple videos. So I can already see this one right here has more than the others. This one has more than the others, this one and this one. Off the bat, I already noticed that these 2 videos right here have captions on it. So that already says something. And then I would go ahead and watch it. And then I'm going to go ahead and actually break it down. Like, okay, what's the difference between this video and this video? Am I talking different? And is it a dance? Maybe people don't like the dance. Am I giving more information in this one? And then once you kind of figure out those things, make at least 3 to 5 videos with that same strategy and see how people react to that.
Okay, so pretty much copy exactly what I did in this video, like with the big captions, just obviously, remix the content or make it different content, but the same, like you said, like the same strategy. And
Yeah,
see
like
how it does.
yeah, like the same caption, the same tone of voice.
Okay.
Maybe if you're outside, you're outside. If you're inside, you're inside. Yeah.
Okay.
If you're giving a tip, give a tip. If motivation is not working, then stop using it, or whatever the case is. I'll go through it deeper though, and I'll send you a message later on.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure.
I need help with that. But did I post today? No, I didn't post. I can't remember the last time I posted. It was a long time ago. Maybe like a week or 2 ago. I've been off the grid.
Listen, felt.
Yes. Anybody else have any questions? I know there's people on here that need help with their social media, with their branding, all that stuff.
So I got another question, since ain't nobody else gonna ask no question, you know what I'm saying? So TikTok, let's talk about TikTok, right? Because I really want to get my TikTok up and running. I feel like I'm very informative when I want to inform. Is there is there like any like tips you can give us from starting a brand new TikTok to be very explosive on the world with
Yeah,
information?
actually, yeah, for sure. So I'm gonna give you guys a quick tip about TikTok. And this is work with brands that I've worked with, as far as clients that I've worked with and just, entrepreneur friends that I know. Right now, TikTok is actually favoring people who don't have a link in your bio. So if you're willing to put in the work and grow it first, I would suggest doing that, especially if you have a new TikTok. So put in the work on getting your followers without necessarily sending them somewhere. So just expanding it that way. Another cool thing about TikTok is you literally can post the same video 10 times and eventually it'll probably blow up. So it doesn't hurt you if you're posting the same video because TikTok is just showing it to people. Their algorithm is so different from Instagram. Well, yes, it does show it to your followers. It's going to show it to different people. So if you go ahead and post that same video maybe 3 times today, 3 times tomorrow, 3 times the next day, you'll start to notice that you're going to get some uptick in that. Once you have a over a certain amount of I if you're willing to wait, I would say wait until those extra like bonuses come in with TikTok to 10,000 followers. You don't have to wait that much, but once you get 10,000, I believe you can go live. But you might want to wait until 3,000 or 5,000 or 2,000, whatever the number that's sufficient for you. Then go ahead, run a link in your bio and start pointing people somewhere. But as long as you're giving them value, they're gonna want to follow you and they're gonna keep going back. So go ahead and give them that value. You don't worry about what you're reposting. Go ahead and continue to use those videos. And remember, sometimes we feel like we don't want to reuse videos because we know we've seen them, we know we've posted them, but oftentimes these algorithms, especially when Reels and TikTok are showing it to people who don't even know you exist. There's literally a million, there's millions of people using social media that don't know you, that have never seen your face before. So just, remember, don't get in your head and, don't be scared to use the same video multiple times.
I said that's some good advice. I need to remove the link from my TikTok. I totally started
Yeah, so
neglecting it because I didn't see any growth. I was like, no, let me just, like you said, right, just focus on one. Let me just focus on Instagram and Facebook because they showing me more love.
yeah, and I know a couple of girls who they just ran up their TikTok followers, and then as soon as they hit 10,000, that's when they put the link in their bio, and then they started selling like Amazon products from there, and that's how they've been able to make money and monetize off of it versus going ahead and starting off with a link in their bio and going from there. It seems to not work. So yeah, TikTok is a little tricky.
So
Okay.
how do you feel about dances? Like I'm gonna like and like all
So
that other stuff.
I mean, I don't think it's necessary. So if you're a dancer, dance. If it, but if you're not, it's really, really not necessary. So we have to remember we're talking to our avatar, and while trends as far as, dance trends or even like sound trends are cool, they're actually not gonna monetize you. People literally just watch them, laugh, and you're scrolling up. They're not gonna help your brand unless they're doing what your brand wants you to do. I noticed the best thing to do is just add value, or if you want to be an entertaining person, then know that that's the avatar you're creating to follow you. So remember, any content that you are posting, it's for the avatar you're talking to. So if you want somebody to follow you because you're funny, that's why they're going to follow you. But if you make a funny post or a cool dance or any of that, and then they follow you, and then now you're trying to sell them something, they're going to kind of be lost because they're like, that's not what I came here for. So, you just got to cut out all the noise and do what you're meant to do on these social media platforms.
I feel like all of my business comes from social media, and
Yeah.
it's from like super old videos from last year, from like 2021 and 2020 and stuff like that. So like these things that you're posting on the internet, they're living forever, and people they're like evergreen. So people are coming across them, when they need it, right? When they start researching that content, even though it's old for us, like for example, some people, they'll look into like their phone and they're like, that's an old video. Like I shot that video, 18 months ago, but it's still educational and it's still probably relevant. So post the video. So yeah, yes. Any other questions for Jac? All right, Jac, can you tell them what you have to offer and how they could find you? I know that you had put your email address. I also put your Instagram link in the in the chat so that they could follow
for sure.
you. So everyone follow Jac. She has really good content. And she's always going live and doing master classes. So what do you have to offer, Jac?
So I mean, like I said, I have a design agency. You can go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I'm gonna go ahead and put my email in the chat. And I can send you my jot form. Sorry, Jac the God. I can send you my jot form if you're interested in any creative services. And anybody who is on this call, I'll go ahead and give you guys 20% off. But I don't have any special offers, honestly. Because like I'm not selling anything right now. I'm honestly just here to give value. Again, I own a design agency. I'm contracted under a pretty cool company, and I work with a lot of big brands. So right now, it's nothing crazy going on. But I do offer graphic design. I do web development, social media strategies, things of that nature. Yeah, I work with e-commerce brands as well. So I own a clothing brand. So called My Hustle Has Purpose. So, feel free to tap in with me if you guys ever have any questions, if you need creative design or strategies. And honestly, even if I am not the one for you, I will help you find somebody that is the person for you, because I'm not for everybody. My company will not be for everybody, but I am well connected, and I am very happy to, go ahead and point you in the right direction, because ultimately I want everybody to grow. So like, don't hesitate to reach out.
Isn't it amazing to know amazing people, like-minded individuals? Thank you so much, Jac, for coming in, pouring into the community, giving them this phenomenal masterclass. We really, really, really appreciate you. Tonight was phenomenal. I do want to say that when we come back next week, it is going to be January. So happy New Year's to everyone on this call.
Happy New Year's to you
Yes.
too.
Thank you so much. And you guys be blessed, and we will see you guys in January.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, absolutely. Go for it, Gina.
What is the difference? Because when I was in art school, we had marketing, which was supply and demand. That was the mantra of marketing. Now it's digital marketing. So what's the difference between marketing and digital marketing? Is it because everything is web-based?
Yeah, so exactly. So yeah, and I actually am certified in advanced digital marketing. And so yeah, it really is web-based now. So when you're talking about regular marketing, there's print collateral, there's magazines, there's billboards. A lot of that, there's like, when you go to New York, and you have Times Square and you have all those ads there, a lot of that is a lot more noisy now. Digital marketing is very, very special because people are now going on the internet, and on the tip of our fingertips, we're able to go to Google, we're able to go to social media, and we're able to type in the questions and get our answers there. So digital marketing allows you to get in front of the audience that's searching for you, rather than forcing yourself in front of an audience. So those are the difference. It's getting in front of the audience that already knows you. So utilizing blogs, utilizing social medias to answer people's questions, where again, people are already going on these platforms every day asking these questions, versus putting your billboard up on 95 or wherever you live and hoping that the right person sees you.
Oh, okay. You answered the question. Thank you.
Thank you, Gina. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Anytime.
Yeah, so I guess that's it. Thank you so much, Jac. I just want to say once again that we appreciate you doing this masterclass, and you really, giving us all of this knowledge and these good tips that we can now take away and implement in our business. And we
sure.
start, rebranding, like you said.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for having me. And if you ever need me to come back, let me know, and I'm always happy.
Yes, we'd love to have you in 2023.
For sure,
Yep.
for sure. I'm with it.
All right. Bye, everybody. Happy New Year.
Bye. New Year. Happy holidays.